Hey friends, my name's Stevie Taylor. Welcome to the Gig Life Podcast.
So don't bother even trying to keep it cool.
My guest today is Diana Rouvas. Diana is a singer-songwriter and vocal coach, vocal producer from Sydney. People may know her from season 1 of The Voice Australia, but there's a lot to her story before her time on The Voice up till now, and also there's a lot more to come. In my opinion, Diana is one of Australia's best. If you get the chance to listen to her music or listen to her performances, they'll knock your socks off. I hope you enjoy our cool, informative, educational chat as much as I did. Ladies and gentlemen, Diana Rouvas. Cheers. So I think we're rolling. Diana Rouvas. Welcome. Did I get it?
Yeah.
Is that it? Awesome.
Bang on.
Bang on, eh? First time, eh? Welcome to the Gig Life Podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, sweet as. We're at the Gig Life HQ at my house, sitting in my lounge. So, what have you been up to? Where'd you come from today?
Today I came from home.
You came from home?
Drummoyne.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Didn't take me long.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And have you been gigging this week?
This week. No, I've been teaching this week.
Okay, what do you teach?
I teach a lot of voice production.
Oh, right, okay.
So
like
I do
talkover or singing?
No,
or...
singing, a lot of singing.
Yeah.
Yeah. My parents were great singing teachers and singers when I was a kid.
Yep.
And still teach 40 years later.
Yep.
They used to gig, 6 nights a week when it was the 70s and 80s and everyone went out.
Yep.
Humans went to places.
Yes, that's it. They actually talked.
Look out.
They actually talked.
People had conversations.
Yeah.
And so they did a lot of teaching and singing, and I grew up in that household and started training the technique that they studied from 4 or 5 years old.
Right, so it was technique right from the outset.
Yeah, my mum, as a child, suffered probably some bad misinformation from teachers as a kid. And she had surgery at 26.
Oh, shit.
So she had nodules removed and then retrained with this technique and never had another issue again.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah, right.
And so through their teaching of 40 years and my being a student of it and a teacher of it, it seems to continue to prove its weight in gold. And
Yep.
I resisted it for a while. Because I think, when you get in the whole artist headspace, it's kind of, you feel like it's going to distract you or slightly change your direction. But it kind of changed a lot in an amazing way.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's kind of I have to kind of pass it on because it does so many amazing things for voices.
Yeah.
That it wouldn't be right if I didn't pay it forward and kind of pass it on and
that's awesome.
try and help who I can help, and it's kind of really exciting, and you learn a lot about yourself as well.
Yeah. So where are you teaching?
Well, I teach at a music school called Empire, and I teach for myself privately
Private
as well.
Stuff, yep.
Yeah. So
how many sort of private students do you have?
I do kind of 4 crazy days.
Oh, yeah.
So, can't answer that question, I guess. Maybe 40 hours over 4 days or 38.
Oh, right, okay.
Yep. Kind of enough.
Yeah.
And then I leave the weekends to do some gigging, but predominantly at the moment trying to finish a record. So.
Oh, really? Okay. Let's talk about that a bit.
Time and energy for that would be cool.
Yeah. Let's talk about that, and then maybe we can...
Go backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, well... backwards kind of comes into that now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I just got kind of tired of the process of where people want to put you in the business and where you need to sound like and who you need to be. And I've been writing since I was 8 or 9, and I guess we can go backwards then. But at the moment, I just decided we'll do this record ourselves. When I say ourselves, me and Eric, my partner, who's producing it and co-written some of the tunes and stuff like that. And so I was just like, F it.
Yep.
We can make the record ourselves.
Yep.
Do it how we want to do it, because at the end of the day, your legacy, if you want, you know, the quality of what you do and if you feel good about it is more important to me than the quantity of something I don't care about.
Exactly.
And so we're just plugging along. But it's hard to do it around a full-time kind of, which you were kind of saying. It's hard to do both.
Totally.
But no one's giving me $1 million to do it. So
That's it, you got all the time
that's
in the
fine.
world. Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And that, not that, attitude's probably a lack of a better saying, but did you feel that, because you were on season 1 of The Voice.
Yeah.
And you did quite well on that. And then you got a contract out of that in the end. Yeah.
Yes.
So is it from being in that situation that's made you feel like, I don't want to...
So
did you feel you were being put in to a certain, what's the word I'm looking for?
Category.
Yeah.
Pocket,
that's a good one.
cage.
Pigeonhole. Cage.
Wild animal in a cage. Are you right?
Yeah, it's good.
Well, I had... Let's go back then.
Yep.
So when I was 14 or 15, I was signed to a management contract. Mm-hmm. And then at 16, I went overseas.
Yep.
And I was staying in predominantly the US for about 7 years. Mm-hmm. And in that time, I had a few major kind of opportunities. I mean, initially I was doing some touring with Tina Arena when I was 16 or 17,
yeah.
A few, which was amazing, and she's a fucking awesome human being and singer and whatever, you know, she's great. So at 16 or 17, that was cool. And then also at the same time, I was taking original stuff to labels, to some big labels with my then management. And I had, the first thing was a major world deal with Sony, US, France, UK. Mm-hmm. And they flew me to the other opposite, to the next territory to kind of say, let's sign this chick. Mm. And Australia passed.
Right.
So I'd been flown to all these territories and been in these boardrooms for 2 hours singing to everybody, and everyone's like, yeah, cool. Sat at the piano and sang some of the songs I'd been writing, and they were like, fucking yeah. Mm. And then came home and Australia passed. They were kind of like, well, why did you go there first? And I was like, well, soul and kind of, you know, like it just, we had a bit of a vibe there, and so we started that way. Did
you kind of know that you had a bit of a vibe over there? Had people...
Oh, what I mean is,
yeah.
Well, when you sing, you know, and I did get a little following there, to be honest, over that time, just gigging and stuff.
Yeah.
And so in that sense, so that happened a few times. I saw Atlantic Records, Def Jam. Fucking supposed to write with this guy called Johnny Lang, who's a massive, like, incredible guitarist and muso, and certain artists, Pussycat Dolls, Mary J. Blige, were supposed to take one of my songs when I was 21, but the A&R was kind of a fan and kind of fought with Jimmy Iovine that signed Diana, and he was like, no. So that went to shit.
So it was Jimmy Iovine that said no?
He just wasn't vibing,
Okay.
Which is whatever. It's not, everything is not for everyone.
Yeah.
But...
He's an out there dude.
Yeah, well, look, I never cared about, like, on a personal level, if someone was like, we like it or we don't.
Yep.
I never really took it. It was like, well, yeah, it's art.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to love it all.
Yeah.
And I've had 1,000 no's and lots of, you know, good things as well. So, anyway, after all that, which was a few things, and I recorded, which is online, and, you know, on that with Rufus and Ricky Lawson and...
drummer Ricky Lawson?
Drummer Ricky Lawson, yeah.
Love that guy.
May you rest in peace.
Yes.
And Bobby Watson, who is on the current record, bass, from Off the Wall and stuff like that. So
awesome.
We stayed in touch, but my previous management paid kind of to set that up, and we did this original kind of EP with them, which was cool. But after all that, we came home, ran out of money, whatever. And so my partner, Eric, and my day job that I was at were kind of hassling me to go on The Voice, and I really didn't want to be honest. Because I think by that point, it had been 12 years since the first world record deal and the second and third and the supposed to do that and this, and I kind of felt, I guess, not discouraged, but I didn't want to be seen on the TV knowing everyone who knew me going, yeah, she fucking still hasn't done, she's still not there.
Still trying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which completely changed since then. Like now I don't give a shit, and now I'm just like, let's do this.
Yeah, good stuff.
I don't care if I'm 100 or 7.
Yep.
This is what I came to do.
Awesome.
Get out of the way. Like, let's just do it. But at the time, I think I just felt like, you know, and I was struggling with money and all of us, whatever. Your muso goes up and down through that.
Yep.
And so then I did get the deal, yes. They did an EP that they didn't release.
Oh, really?
So they paid for an EP and then just released the single.
Okay.
Which I did with Lewis Scrull, who's a cool producer who's done some pretty cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome human being. I don't know if I felt like it was the one, if you know what I mean. The musically, like I was just trying to go with the best that I could.
Yep.
UMA did send me to work with Joel Little, Lord's producer, from that first kind of record. But musically, I think where I wanted to go and where he was going was just slightly different, and yeah, we did write a cool song.
Was he trying to put you into that Lord sound type
No,
thing?
I don't think he was trying to do any of that. They were pretty open with what we were trying to do. It was just a matter of two different worlds kind of coming together, and yet again, the story of my life's been where you don't sound like anyone majorly. So what do we do with you? You know, you're half Greek, half Aussie chick with soul songs and kind of, not even, some of it's not that soul. I write lots of stuff, but it's probably confusing in some ways. And when I was 17 and 20, I sounded 30. So it's kind of like, well, anyone great did something different and had something different. That's true, right? But it's constantly been, got to make it work. And then I parted ways with UMA because it was like, well, they wanted me to do certain kind of material that I just wasn't keen on.
Yep.
And even though I got on a personal level, I found that there was a good communication and stuff there. There just wasn't a lot of backing to behind whatever it kind of, you know, whatever. It was like, do what you want, but we may or may not kind of join you. So in the end, I was like, well,
don't take the chance.
Don't want to take the chance? Yeah, I that's fine. But then let's not waste time you sending me songs that are not for me.
Yeah.
I'm not 16 running around with this thing up my ass, and I'm definitely not gonna, never was. So I want to say shit that I give a shit about. So, and I feel like that's a struggle at the, you know, in the current thing too. It's kind of, songwriting's changed as well.
Yeah.
There's a million writers on things, and there's it's just kind of,
it's not diluted. It's
kind of so impersonal.
Yep.
For me, I need to that aspect.
Yep.
Otherwise, what am I opening my mouth for?
Sure.
Because I don't care about fame for fame or product for $1 million. Like, it matters when I'm gone, what I left behind me.
The legacy, eh?
The legacy of A, who I was.
Yep.
Did I do things for a good reason? Was I kind along the way?
Yeah.
And did I leave something that is people can still possibly be moved by? Or I mean, we're trying on this record to do what we want, but also have a current thing with the old thing. Yeah. And tell the story, and that's cool. You gotta meet somewhere somehow, but we're not really following anything. Yeah. It's just like whatever.
Yeah, that's cool.
Whatever comes out, mate. That's
it.
So there's a lot of songs.
Yeah.
Because it's been a long time for me.
Double album?
18 years rolling. Well, if I had less students and more time, yeah. Why not? But no, gonna go for 11 tracks and and then So yeah. So I'm not bitter about it. It's just kind of we'll do it. We'll just do it.
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean. You're always waiting for people
Yeah.
people to come to the party.
Yeah, we're not getting any younger either.
We're not getting any younger. I'm just going to have the party anyway.
Yeah, that's it.
And you can come or
You
not.
can or not. Yeah, I'm going to be.
You're invited,
That's
but
it. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
And I just don't care about. I don't know. See what happens.
Yeah.
I've got management, and I'm happy with that, and with them. I feel positive. They've been very patient with the whole thing.
Do you have to drip feed them stuff to keep them kind of interested? Is that something you need to
I don't think so.
Or they just
I do sometimes.
yeah.
But no.
Yeah, they're not expecting it. They
I
just
feel like they believe in
yeah.
what I do, and
Yeah.
they've come to a few shows and feel pretty.
Yep.
Whatever they feel after they go, they feel happy about what they're
Yep.
doing.
Yep. So when you say they're coming to a few shows, are they coming to see you perform your stuff, or
Both, anything.
they're both? Yeah,
Just
just
kinda
coming
pop
to
up
see you.
when they
coming
can.
to see you play.
My stuff, obviously, they try to 100%.
Yeah. of
But
course.
other stuff, they'll come anyway sometimes.
Yep. Mm. And
So,
what are your current gigs?
next week I'm doing a gig with the Cafe Salvation, Cafe the Gate of Salvation Choir, kind of gospel
cool.
kind of thing. So, but I'm doing some random stuff.
Yep.
Doing something with Jess Malboy at the end of the year. Just
And you've been doing stuff with her lately?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I did something not long ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a thing in Canberra. They did a picture, artwork of her. She was hung up in the gallery there for forever.
Oh, really?
It's amazing. Yeah, she's
Yeah, it's a buzz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She, I've worked with her a couple of times. She seems like a pretty fair dinkum, decent person.
Yep.
Which is nice.
That's cool.
I'm really careful about where I spend my time or my energy. You know.
Yep.
Now, like, if I don't like you, then I really don't care about the gig.
It's a kind of a given, really, but people don't see it that way. They just go, gig's a gig, and
Well, that's okay too, and I can
Yeah.
respect what people need to do. But for me,
no, got to feel in it.
I gotta
Feel
care.
invested in it,
I gotta care about it. I gotta feel positive about the energy.
and you got to feel that they kind of dig you being there too. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a bit like that too.
Yeah. Well, that's nice because then it's a better energy.
Yeah, totally.
Whole thing is better.
Yeah.
You know, I stay away from doing a lot of kind of the gigs that people do to make a living because I don't want to hate what I do at the end of 3 sets. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be like, well, I trained 2 or 3, 4 hours a day, sometimes vocal exercises, training since I was 5 years old, like a psychopath.
Yep.
I mean, I used to pretend I'd get shot if I missed a note.
Oh, really? That was your thing.
well, it was a specific exercise, like a staccato kind of vocal exercise, and I used to think when I was like 8, like, right, if my life depended on it, could I sing this in perfect pitch and execute it well?
Yeah.
If I missed something, I'd go back to the front.
Yeah.
Go back.
That's the way. It's a good.
Again. It's like a concentration camp
Well,
for singing.
it's clearly worked for you, so you know it's good to have that self-discipline.
Well, that I always had that,
Yeah.
and in my writing as well, which was kind of.
Did that come from your mum and dad, do you think?
They had incredible work ethic, but they were never they trained me, but they didn't force me to sleep in the vocal lessons. Like, I used to sit in there at 5 and watch them teach till midnight.
Yep.
Like, they just, I'd fall asleep in there and just process everything, and I was
Yeah.
unusually interested
Yep.
for a kid. And then 8 or 9 I started writing. I used to have like 30 toothbrushes. Yeah, collect like old cleaning toothbrushes and shit and play with them every day instead of homework or dolls. And they all had a life and a story.
Cool.
And one of them was a singer, of course.
Right.
And she needed to write.
Yep.
So I was like, you guys need to buy me some books because the gold Colgate toothbrush needs to write some songs.
Have you still got it?
Oh,
Toothbrush?
I put it in a box
Yeah.
of special things when we moved many years ago, and it's gone.
Oh,
All the special shit is gone.
bummer.
Dad's, some of the family like photos. It was, I don't know where this box is, but it's gone. So So then I couldn't write without a toothbrush. It was really funny because as the game ended, I'd still go and get a toothbrush when I was writing.
Yeah.
And have it near me and kind of hang on to it and kind of as I'm thinking. And then I went to the piano because I did play piano, and I went to the piano one day and I closed the blinds and I thought, okay, you got to put this shit away. If you're hiding from the neighbours with this toothbrush, then it's got to end.
Yeah, yeah.
Move on.
Yeah.
Channel a different. It was like a channel.
Yeah.
You know, like a spiritual kind of
Pretty
antenna.
Cool. Pretty cool though.
These toothbrushes.
Yeah.
In fact, that reminds me. I want to put one somewhere on the record.
Yeah, that's cool.
On every record, just a little toothbrush somewhere.
Maybe your your photo for this podcast can be.
Give me a toothbrush.
I'll go toothbrush.
Well, there
put
was
it in there
lots.
somehow and.
It was. I love the ones that had been used for like cleaning the shower because
Yeah.
I love the diversity of, you know,
Of the toothbrush.
of people looking kind of exhausted.
Yeah, with their
With their hair
sticking
everywhere.
out everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't care about Barbies. I used to send my friends home.
Yeah.
Poor things. They used to come over with their dolls and I'd be like, do you want to go home? And they'd be like, yeah. Because I'd be like, check out this toothbrush and here's the storyline. And they'd be like, she's insane.
You're fucking weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't Ken and Barbie just get married? No. That'd be stupid.
Yeah.
So I was kind of a bit eccentric and I had lots of funny things like that. But anyway, I don't know how I got where I was going from
No, I
that.
can't remember either.
Back to how I started writing, basically.
Writing, yeah, that's it. Writing early.
Writing early and loving it.
Yeah.
Just crazy loving it.
Have you ever thought with the amount of songs that you write, have you ever looked at
Publishing.
publishing? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they don't want me, mate.
Yeah? Yeah, that
I've
sucks.
gone for a couple and they just, yeah.
They don't want you or they don't want the song?
Don't know.
Is
And
this
obviously-
going back to the Mary J. Blige, that kind of stuff?
Well, we
back
didn't
in the US?
purposely at that point sign publishing.
Oh,
Because
okay.
we were like, you know, had time and was like, well, let's see what happens first.
Yeah.
And then a few years back I did kind of look into that. And it's weird because over the years, you know, if the songs were shit, then Mary J. and they wouldn't be interested in the songs.
first
Or
place.
Jimmy Iovine wouldn't be interested in that song in the first place.
Yeah.
So there's got to be something going on. I don't know if it's because I can probably write a lot of the standard stuff that they might want. I just don't.
Mm.
If I want to write a country song, I write a country song.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and I don't really care.
Mhm.
It's okay. It's all right.
Sweet.
Be nice, but it's not over yet, mate.
No, that's it. Eh?
So
Early,
we'll see.
early days.
We'll see where we land.
Yeah, that's
It's
it.
been a long road. Like
Yeah.
18 years and running in the business of yes and no and yes.
Yeah.
But that's all right.
It creates character that some people would just buckle.
Yeah.
Yeah, after getting turned down so many times, you know, some people just can't take it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think you know when you got something you have to just do. Like if somebody said to you, okay, we're going to chop your hands off, you can't play drums tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
We're going to punch you in the throat, Diana, you can't sing anymore. I mean, how much does it mean to us that if it was taken away from you, could you live without it? That's kind of my bottom line.
Mm.
If I woke up and someone said, you can't sing anymore, you're not allowed to, or we're going to take that away from you.
Yeah.
What you know what I mean? That's the most important thing is
Yep.
what we feel and what we get from doing that
Yep.
and connecting with people who do the same thing.
Mm.
So that just stays in my mind,
Yeah.
and I think it's important that Because what is the, you know, I want recognition around the world as a singer and a writer, because otherwise it becomes forgotten maybe. But that's not the be all and end all of it. Do you know what I mean? It's the enjoyment and the passion about it to be able to do it. That's a gift for us, right? So you just got to be grateful for that. Like, even though I worked freaking hard to be the singer that I am.
And in my opinion, one of the best voices in Australia, I believe. Yeah, pretty awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Sweet.
Very kind of you.
No, all good.
Yeah, well, I think people are born with a gift, your feel and your sound and your but I've worked hard in the sense of skill-wise and being able to sustain and grow and execute things a certain way. And
that comes back to technique, early on.
Well, it does, yeah. I feel like a better singer now than I've ever been. So that's because of that. That's not, I'm not a fairy that just sprinkled some dust and went, here you go. You know what I mean? And I can see that when I pass it on, what it does for people. Yeah. And so that brings me a lot of joy.
Do you see a lot of other teachers teaching incorrectly, and how does that make you feel? Or is that...
Well, it's not, you know, I guess that's a thing. The problem, I think, is there's a lot of misconception with voice, and that's because you can't see them and they have no nerve endings, so it's open for anyone to just, if, you know, like, sometimes people might come to me because they like my voice, but that's got nothing to do with what I'm about to show them.
No,
and so I can see how you could efficiently have, you know, traffic just based on being talented at something, but there's two different things to me. So how do I feel about it? Well, each to their own. It's a shame because there's a lot of damage that doesn't have to happen. I mean, a lot of my parents' work, and myself included, is reversing nodules, reversing damage.
Right, okay.
Healing, managing, understanding. And, you know, it's fine for people to say, well, you can do this way all the time. And it's like, okay, well, do it 6 nights a week for a few years. And then tell me how sustainable it is.
Here she comes.
She's
woke up. She'll come up and say hello.
Yeah, it's more...
Our cat's Snowy, sorry.
Come and say hi.
Quiet.
She's going to sing into the... Come.
Sorry about that.
Don't apologise. Yeah, so it is what it is. The best thing that we can do is just pass on what we feel is and everyone's really doing probably the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, but I do get a lot of people come in with issues that don't have to kind of...
Do you really think people are doing the same thing? Do you think they really know?
No, what I mean is everyone's doing what they believe.
Oh, sorry, okay, yeah.
Sorry, everyone's doing what they feel is right, myself included. Okay. But the thing of what we've learned is that Mum did it one way from many teachers.
Right.
Suffered over and over.
Yeah.
Changed that formula. Never had another problem again. I mean, of course, we get reflux as singers. You eat chili, it burns you. You know what I mean?
That's the whole managing thing.
Far out. That's a whole other thing. It's in your body. So if you're going to drink and smoke and party and yell at people in a nightclub, we've all woken up and gone, hey.
Yeah.
You know, but that's the lifestyle of a singer. That's a whole different thing as well. But it's the thing about it is it's not the fight of right or wrong, even though I believe in what I'm doing. I reckon I'd be destroyed by now if I wasn't doing what I'm doing. The thing about it is that people wake up and they suffer. The thing they love to do, or the thing that is, and it doesn't have to happen. So I think the more good work that I can try to do, and my folks are doing, and that students who practice, keyword, do and change their habits. And I get it all the time, people who are like, you know, don't lose my voice anymore at this gig, or, you know, my range has improved, or people are saying, what are you doing, or the consistency, or the quality, or the whatever. they just enjoy their instrument that much more, and their living doesn't get threatened constantly, you know.
Yep.
So, and there's always something to learn. That's not to say that there's nothing left for me,
Yeah,
but I know for a fact that it's served me very well in my lifetime. And it serves my students and my parents. 40 years running is still, it still has the same result.
Your father's just brought out a book.
Yeah.
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 Tell us about that.
Well, Mum had had a voiceology. She's got a voiceology in a little book and a 10 essential lessons for easy singing, a little program.
Yeah.
And Dad's just written his book. God, it's so new. I've just forgotten the name. He's just... Anyway, I love the cover. All I can remember is the cover of it. So cute. And it's cool because they're both different. They're the same technique, same information.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's cool because it's written slightly... Complete Guide to Singing. The Complete Guide to Singing, yeah.
Cool.
So, yeah. So, well, that's all based on this, which, you know, in the old days, 100 years ago, you could say it was bel canto from Italy.
Right.
There's some slight differences in our experience of it, but pretty much the foundation is pretty much the same. The issue is people associate it with opera, and it's not the case. We don't look at it stylistically. We just look at it like a vehicle.
Yeah,
you drive it the same.
It's a technique. This is...
Yeah.
Yep.
Can change gears.
Yep.
Same. It doesn't matter if you're a Ferrari or a bloody
Yep.
whatever.
Yep.
Still drive it the same. Dress it up a few different ways if you like, but the machine runs efficiently this way.
Yep.
And, you know, you send people off with the tools to kind of manage and grow and reverse and develop and pass on. And I think that's, if you've done a good job, eventually they don't need you.
That's it.
Right? Yeah. If they know how to do things. The tools are reliable.
Yeah.
And so that's cool. It served me well. And to be honest, the book that they originally found, it was written by a guy here in 1935 in the Con in Australia. Roland Foster, Vocal Success. And it was a very old book, obviously. But I think they started reprinting it recently.
Cool.
Because it's kind of, you know... But people have to do it. I can tell people, but until they practice, execute it and try it,
Yep.
they may or may not feel like it's you know, that it's going to work or not. But it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Anyway, I feel like there's a thing with singing, like you don't have to practice 6 days a week. You don't have to do exercises. You don't have to do, and it's like, no, you do.
You do.
It's like drumming,
Yep.
guitar,
Yep.
the Olympics.
You
like
can still
nobody.
go and do it after a month off, but you know
It's not
shit.
the same.
Body aches, and that's what with drumming, and your technique's off, and you can't do what you were doing last time, and
Yeah,
it's like anything, you know.
I do get.
So I was
people.
going to ask, what do you do to maintain your voice? When I say maintain, say if you're having a slow run of gigs and you're not teaching that much, or you're having a bit of a break, do you take yourself away and practice?
Well, I try and keep my vocal exercises happening all the time anyway.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, talking all day in the lower register is not ideal, so it's nice and therapeutic on the voice to do exercises properly at the end of the night or before. Some days I'm not as good as others, depends. Sometimes I'm tired. Can't be bothered.
Yeah, of course.
But I try to keep a consistency happening. And the one month I didn't do scales on purpose, on Christmas I was like, you know what? I've been doing these scales for 35, 34 years.
Yeah.
I'm going to not do them. Mate, I did a guide vocal for something and it still was good, and everything was still in my body, from, as in, it's second nature, a lot of the technique that I've done.
Yeah.
But the muscles were kind of soreish and tired, and my accuracy took more effort, and the top end was not as beautiful, and I'd rested it. It was half asleep.
Yep.
So I kind of thought, might be nice anyway, just have a break.
Yep.
And I do think that's ideal for everybody to have a rest. But yeah, didn't feel as nice. Just kind of was like, ew, get back on the. Yeah, like you know, pitch becomes not as amazing, and
Yep.
just things that are genuinely easy or. But if I miss something, I know why. Technically, it's always a reason. But anyway, yeah, you feel it.
Yep.
So I try and keep that going.
That's cool.
As much as I can. I struggle sometimes if I've done a massive teaching day. A few days I kind of sick of talking, sick of sound. But yeah.
That's good. Now let's talk about harmony a little bit. Now when you get together the first time with a bunch of new singers or singers you don't really know, and I'm speaking from someone who's not a singer and doesn't, you know, I wouldn't know how to go about it. But how do you, say there's three of you, how do you come about, you know, finding your harmonies? And
the people I've been lucky to work with, their ear is pretty amazing. So we all just kind of find them.
Yep.
And then if somebody feels happier to be above or underneath vocally, depending on where they want to.
Yep.
Sometimes with a couple singers I work with a bit, Sky and Nick Jeffries, who are two of my favourite humans and amazing musicians and singers. Sometimes we swap around because from a technical point of view, and that's just me being insane, is no matter what anyone else knows, if I'm doing a couple hours, I want to, if I'm not the lead, that is, I like to pick, sometimes do the top, sometimes do underneath, so the voice is kind of getting exercised throughout the gig.
Yep.
Rather than, can't be bothered, I'll just stay down here, or
Yep.
I'll stay up here all the time, or I like to exercise. It's like, a bit nutty, but...
No, that's cool.
Because no one else gives a shit, just me.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of that. Okay, you go under, we go over. Plus, it's not bad for the ear to be jumping around that way either, changing what you do. But we all kind of just land where it kind of feels.
Yeah,
good.
that's cool. Yeah, I was talking to a friend the other day. I asked him a similar sort of thing, and similar sort of answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're working with people with good ears, I think it kind of just comes together quite nicely. And of course, you might make some subtle changes if you want a different, you know, or you re-listen and go, hang on, there's no 7 in that chord. Why are we putting it there?
Yep. Yep.
Stuff like that. But otherwise, yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
But as a kid, I used to get 3 or 4 tape decks. Like I used to steal all the tape decks from the house and do harmonies to my original stuff. You know, like do the lead here and then...
Oh, cool.
And then, you know, get the next tape, press play on that, do the harmony and record it onto that tape, and then do 3 or 4 parts.
That's awesome.
And I used to fill in for my folks when they had like a harmony, 6-part kind of harmonies, and I used to get snuck in to gigs and do the harmonies. And I had the 6, I think, in one particular song. But I grew up, I guess, listening to that and kind of doing it.
Yep.
So maybe I, just used to that for me.
That's good. Awesome.
Not always right, but I like the challenge too. You know, if something doesn't work, I've got to find it.
Yeah, look for it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. So you've been playing with Damien Leith as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that like?
Damo is one of our oldest and dearest friends,
Cool.
Eric's and myself,
and
his wife Eileen. And so I met Damien through Eric 15 years ago.
Yep.
So Eric was playing with him in a pub, in a pub band gig, and I used to go and watch sometimes, and that's kind of how we met.
Yep.
And then Damo went on Idol and won not long after that, I guess.
Yep.
So yeah, so we worked together over the years. I've supported some of the shows, or obviously not this year. I kind of jumped on and did some some of the gospel Elvis stuff with
Yep.
Sky Nick, and that's so much fun. And
Did
Damo's...
you do the Roy Orbison thing?
No, I didn't.
Okay, yeah.
No.
Yep.
But Damo's pretty amazing to watch on stage. Like,
Yep.
he's an entertainer, and he's, you know, he's seasoned at what he does, and he's a go-getter.
Yeah.
You know, he just does shit,
Yeah.
which is inspirational.
I spoke to Steve Marin about Damien. He said the same thing.
Yeah.
He just has an idea and just goes for it.
Yeah,
And
he's
nothing
a
kinda
good
stops him
guy. He's talented, and he moves.
moves, yeah, that's
He just
it.
doesn't stop moving.
Yeah.
And it's funny because whatever shapes us all. I guess in the past I've been resistant or afraid of change, or we've all got these things that we have to overcome from different aspects of our youth and our life. And so it's funny because I've over the years talked to Damo, and he'll be like, "You just got to do it. You just, you know, like, there's no."
Yeah, that's
And
it.
I'm like, you know, like, what if? So
Yeah.
that's been one of my challenges. It's been like just getting rid of that fear of whatever, you know, not being good enough, or not being enough, or not being able to do what you came to do, or not being able to finish what you started, or not.
Yeah.
Which is all kind of, it is what it is at the end of the day. If you're always moving and you just do shit, then, you know, the only thing you got left to be afraid of is kind of nothing. That's it.
That's it, all right.
It's just, so I'm trying to be a lot more fearless, you know,
Fearless, yeah.
which is one of my things, to be one of my challenges.
Yeah.
But that's okay. You would be a shit songwriter if you didn't have anything to overcome.
That's it.
You have nothing to
You
say.
need plenty of experiences to build up your knowledge base so you can write too, I suppose.
Yeah, I think so, and I think that's the beauty of. And I think that's why different artists connect so much, and singers and musos. It's not just because we do music.
Yeah.
It's because we've struggled similar.
Yeah.
Well, you know, different things, but same ideas of what we've had to overcome and be vulnerable about. And being on stage is a vulnerable thing. I mean, I went through a phase too where I kind of felt like I'd be singing and I'd be like, I don't get it. Like, why these people come to watch me? Like I'm not a surgeon. Like the importance that's placed on that. And I guess as I've gotten older, I've realised there's so much healing and therapy and uniting in music, and it's not about that. But I used to be like, it's a bit not egotist, not. I've never thought like that. What I mean is, it's a bit like, you know.
Yeah,
what I'm
no,
trying
I'm
to
just
say,
trying to...
like, come and watch me play. Like,
Yeah.
who the fuck are you, mate?
Yeah, that's it.
But at the end of the day, it's accepting that what we do is what it is, and it's joyful, and it does connect people, and it's bigger than us.
Yeah.
Once you realise how not important you are, but rather part of the whole, that then is part helps everybody, then I feel okay. I get that. That I'm okay with.
Yeah.
I don't like getting up and being the centre of attention on stage. That's one of my struggles. So then alter egos come out, and I become, you know, which is cool and fine.
Yeah.
And once I sing, that kind of takes over.
Yep.
But as a person, yeah, maybe to my close friends I'm insane, but you'll never find me volunteering to go and sing, to get up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably shyer by nature in that sense. And I've been pushed by people. People need to hear you, like, get up. And they're right.
Yeah.
Just
Absolutely.
like if I get online, I'm hopeless.
Yeah.
People need to hear you. Yeah, well, I don't have my phone at the dinner table, or I don't kind of, I don't know, I just find
That's a good thing, yeah.
I kind of struggle with that, because I'm going to have to pull my finger out as the record's coming. Like, I have to.
Yeah.
But I hate, and that's a strong word, I don't like how much time it takes investing in that.
Yeah.
Even though the big thing is we're investing in our careers, and that's the way of the world, I can respect that. But
Yep.
when I sit there for hours and there's other things going on, I'm like, God, it took me forever to whatever.
You could maybe look at it as, just as part of your job.
It's
And
part of your
you
job.
allocate that little bit of time.
I think you got to do it like that.
Yeah,
you can't just...
You got to schedule it.
Schedule.
Yeah.
That's going to be something I'm going to...
Put it in the diary. I've got to do...
An hour dedicated to that.
That's it. Yeah.
But I like connecting with people that way. I mean, that's what it is. It's just that because you do it yourself,
that's
it's
how
weird.
we connected for this.
There you go.
Yeah. I saw you on Instagram and
Yeah, right.
sent you a message, you know. If you weren't looking at it all the time, not all the time, but if you weren't looking, you wouldn't have seen my message.
Yeah, that's right.
And I've seen that too. Like, a few people I've tried to contact via Instagram, as that's the only way I've been able to.
Mm-hmm.
Those first messages kind of get lost if people don't actually look for them, you know. So
I don't get that many messages, mate.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I just think it took me a couple of days to answer you because I was teaching when I opened it.
No, that wasn't my point.
And sometimes I do full crazy days. And I know it was New Point, but I felt bad because I kind of like to be. I like to be on the pulse of stuff. I don't like to leave people hanging. Yeah. So, and then Eric was like, "You gotta get back to Steve." I was like, "Yes," because he's been listening. So
yeah, that's cool.
So, yeah. So I've been lucky, I guess.
I was gonna make a note.
You know.
Contact Eric. I want to talk to you, Eric.
Yeah, I think there's so much importance placed on the bullshit side of music instead of the real reason we all do it. And I think that's where we get lost sometimes. It's like, you've got to make it this way at this age, at this time, at this point, with this song that you don't like, and if you don't make it by this point, then it's over for you, mate.
That's your chance. You've had your chance. Yeah, no.
Which is kind of the voice. Like that wasn't. That was weird for me. I didn't enjoy the experience.
Oh yeah, I've got down there to ask you about what that was like.
Yeah.
I guess being season 1 as well. Were you kind of briefed on early on what was to be expected, and so you knew everything that was basically going to happen?
Yeah.
But apart from maybe did they sort of train you up on what the media might do, how the media might come at you, social media was? Yeah.
I mean, I'm very grateful for that experience because it did expose me.
Gave you a platform.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not exactly where I'm aiming to be, but it's all part and parcel of what we do and how we get there.
Of course.
And so when I went on that show, I knew. I was like, this is a stepping stone. This is not whatever. It is what it is. What will happen will happen. It's TV, so I didn't even expect, to be honest, to get through the blind.
Okay.
I didn't have an expectation. I just kind of, and I don't feel I did my best work on there because I was constantly kind of feeling, I didn't sleep very well. I was kind of like a bit kind of, I don't know. It just wasn't, anyway. And then I was thinking certain things, like I said to you, like, people are going to see me
negative
think
stuff,
that negative stuff, and then it changed as I realised who gives a shit. The point is you're still going, which is far more something to be not proud, but something to be happy about.
Yeah.
That's way better.
Of course.
Get over yourself, Diana.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. But still, I was quite nervous and quite kind of thinking, like, yep, our cat does that too. Good times.
New couch. She can't do
right.
This one.
Yep.
No.
Well, that was us a few years ago. It's kind of slowly become hers. So... Come and see me. So it was kind of an unusual experience, but at the same time, I'm grateful for it. They did do a lot of that media stuff, but for me, it was funny. After it was aired, because to me, like, if someone says, what's success? Well, making a living out of selling music, not having to sweat to do other things all the time, or kind of it's her time to be performed.
Oh, it's her time, all right. She's heading straight for that microphone.
What was I saying? What was I just saying? Damn it.
Your time?
I've forgotten what I was saying. Got distracted by
By
the
the
golden
cat.
pipes of, is it Snowy?
It's Snowy.
How'd she get the name Snowy?
Because she's black.
Yeah, okay.
It's opposite.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep. Yeah, I know what I was saying.
Oh,
yeah. Once it aired, making it as in making like selling records and not having it right.
Yeah.
So to be on TV was something I thought was a good thing, but I didn't place a great deal of importance on myself having done it or it being done.
Yep.
I was just like, okay, this is a stepping stone, this is a good opportunity. And the morning after it had started airing, I went into the cafe next door in pyjamas, and we were in Balmain at the time, and the girl was like, congratulations. And I was like, huh? I did the Greek frown of my family. I was like, what's she talking about? Like, huh? And she goes, you were on TV yesterday?
Oh.
I was like, oh, yeah, right. Oh, yeah. Oh, thanks. And I got home and I thought I must have seemed arrogant, even though it was nothing like that. It was just me not really thinking much of that. I've gone into the cafe in pyjamas, didn't hear what she said, so I'm like, huh? I was like, oh, thanks. And then kind of, oh, shit. I'm kind of realising,
Then it started to...
Well, it's
on you
more
that-
just how you speak about it. You'll be careful, because some people might come up to you, they do feel like that's something that is great, I guess, and some people who don't even, of course, don't sing and feel like that's a far away for anyone.
Yep.
So I had to realise that, okay, people do, you got to answer just not as blunt as you.
Yeah, just on that, I mean, there was a lesson Muso told me years and years ago, and I just recently told my kids about it, because one of my girls was complimented on something and she kind of brushed it off.
Yeah.
And I sort of said to her, and this is what this guy told to me years ago, he said, that person took
Correct.
that time out of their life to come up to you and say that you'd done a good job, so
100%.
out of respect you need to at least acknowledge back. Because I think what I'd done, what he'd seen me do was someone come up, man, you played great tonight, and I'm like, yeah, no, not really, I've got sore blood lips. And that made them straight away feel bad, like, oh, maybe I just shouldn't have asked, and
Correct.
they kind of walk away with their head down.
100%.
Yeah.
And for us, it's probably not coming from anything except we're critical
that's
of our
it.
work, and we
Yeah.
get the shits if we've done something. I know in my case where you're like, oh, I could have done that better, or I did that better, and I'm driven by good work.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit if someone loves me and I've done a shit job.
Yeah.
Then I still think I've done a shit job. If someone hates it, but I think I did my best work, then I did my best work, man. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
But to the people's faces, you just got to say thank you.
That's it.
Because you're diminishing how they see it.
Exactly.
It's kind of to say, well, you're an idiot, you don't know.
Yeah, that's
But
it.
they're not idiots,
Yeah.
and perhaps, we set our bars high for ourselves, but that's okay. But
All we've got to do is get over ourselves
just
for that
get
10
over yourself,
seconds,
yeah.
and then go,
Yeah.
then go and kick your own ass, like, just...
I mean, I still do it.
Yeah.
In the studio, I do a lot in there. I could be in there 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
Because I pretty much record myself vocally now, and
Awesome.
and fiddle around in there looking for shit moments.
Yep.
And Eric's like, the first few are fine, babe, and I'm like, nah, you don't know. But I'm happy in there by myself, and he does know, but it's more just left to my own devices, like a crazy person. But I love it, because I love looking for things and knowing what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And I refuse to auto-tune anything, ever.
Cool.
Not to sound disrespectful to those who use it, but...
Well, it's used a lot.
Just
especially
like,
in modern pop music. It's on basically everything.
Well, it's used as a sound now.
It's a sound, yeah.
But for me, I love a record where there's performances.
Yeah.
People. And I love listening to old records because of that reason. Like, you know, there's a bass player, there's a drummer, there's a whatever. Okay, our record is half produced and half kind of live. But when it comes to singing, that's kind of, for me, yeah, I just don't. I think it makes way for kind of you're allowed to kind of be sloppy as a singer because the studio will fix it. Mm-hmm. It's like if you went to do a session, you go, oh, fuck it, they'll put it in a click track and I don't have to really do anything. And so I'm a bit old school in that idea of if I can't do it here,
then I'll try it another day.
It's got to be done.
Yep.
It's got to be the truth.
Yep.
I've worked a lot of years on my instrument, not to then just put it through a machine. B, if you miss it, you miss it. And if you, live, if you do your best and that's it, but don't touch it, And I think that's taken something away from us because, in the Ella Fitzgerald days and even Aretha, you'd walk in live and you'd do it. Now, if you couldn't sing or you couldn't play, you probably didn't get the gig.
Got replaced, yeah.
And so people were invested in their craft in a different way. And so whilst I think there's a knack to being a producer of the current thing, and I think that's cool, and I think there's something in that. But for me, I am the instrument, and so I want it to sound as honest as it can. Fuck, you're going to EQ it and put some nice shit on it, but I've sung it.
That's it, yeah.
Because that's what matters to me. That's what I look for. And it takes away the quality when you start tuning it. It's like the quality diminishes of that voice. Mm-hmm. So that's something I stick to because everyone is free to do as they wish, but for me, it matters to me. Yeah. And it's fun. It's an interesting thing because I recorded a student has a great voice, great writer, and he's done a lot of singing with producers who he'll do maybe 10, 15 takes. He doesn't really listen back to much, gets it back, and it's been tuned and done.
Yep.
And so we've done some really great work technically, and his voice has grown a lot in a couple of years that we worked together. But when we went in the studio together, it was really interesting because what happened was he started singing and I kind of sat with him and kind of worked through it as I would. So we're not tuning it. Let's listen back to what's happening here. And he kind of felt shit because he was listening back as the process is happening and saying, I thought, I got the shits about his singing, even though it was quite good, but he was like listening different. Yeah. And I said to him, this is the truth. This isn't not happening because you didn't listen to it.
Yeah.
This is always happening. And I said, well, what are you doing the rest of the time? And he kind of said, well, I don't really listen back. I just get it back and it's tuned. And I said, well, I'd rather we don't tune it and you sing it until it's done, right? Yeah. And the beauty of that experience was it made him a better singer and more conscious of what he was doing. I always encourage students to record and listen back all the time. Like we have to do it all the time. You got to look in the mirror. But the exciting thing was the result, which was that the quality of the voice was dramatically better than it had been. And everything he then listened to of that was he did it.
Yep.
And he said, no, you know what, after all of that, I'm actually really proud because every time I listen to it, that's the practice I've done, that's the work I've done. And us tweaking it, I learnt along the way, as to redoing something, why I went flat. Okay, no, you just need to do X, Y, Z and you won't be flat. Yep. So it's the process as well. And he then was like, you know what, I like that because I did it. And so I get off on that, which is a bit strange, but
no,
I get off on that idea of I did it.
Yeah.
But I do understand that the current thing. But I mean, I've had students be shocked that I don't. Young students, 16, 17, you don't use autotune. Like, you know, every time we work with someone, they just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why singing on a record is becoming a dying art.
Mm.
Because there's no, you know.
Yeah.
Keep it alive, people. Even though I feel like, you know, there is production in this record, it's not all live, it's not... Okay. But that's also a part for us is, well, I can't afford to do it exactly the way we want to do it all the time and pay for, you know, so don't get me wrong, I've had a lot of help and a lot of amazing people have stepped in to kind of support with their gifts, you know.
Yep.
And just offer what they can help with what they do, you know, like Bobby playing bass. I mean, really, Uncle Bobby, that's what he's just kind of stepped in. He said, I just want to help you. So it's kind of really touching when that happens, because you go, and that's why we do music, really.
Yeah. Help
each other. And so every now and then, even if I'm in the middle of a hissy fit, and I'll have a day one day and go, I'm really grateful for, you know, thank you for all these people who've come together.
Yep.
For my voice, for the health of my voice and my instrument and my body to do it. It's just refocus, kind of, because you get caught up in, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But, you know, and I'm not immune to any of these things happening to me in my life, but so far so good. Anyway, point is, hopefully the record is of a good standard. We've done our best, but we've done it on our own because we had to in the end.
Yeah.
We had to in the end because what I was being offered was not.
Yeah.
What I felt was true. So at least even if we've had to bend, it's as true as we could be with how we've done it. And I'm really blessed that Eric's stepped in and been producing that and kind of investing. He's not getting anything for that.
Yeah.
You know, it's just part of the dream.
Yeah.
Or sees the same vision for me, and he wants it as for me as much as I wanted it for me.
Yeah.
Which is an amazing thing to have in your life.
Yep.
So we'll see where we land.
Awesome. On that note, Diana Rouvas. Did I get it right again?
Yeah,
man, nailed it, eh?
Yeah,
it's just you laughed. You laughed when I said it
no,
the first time.
No, because I'm laughing how good it is.
How I wound it up? Or?
How good it is.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, if I'm correct, it's from France initially, not Greece.
Okay.
Even though it's quite big in Greece. There's a famous singer there and
right.
whatever, but it's Rouvas. It's not...
Yeah.
I don't know where it's come from, though.
Okay. Awesome.
Anyway, you're right.
Yeah. I got it twice.
In Australia.
2 out of 2, yeah.
You're right. Thanks for having me,
Diana.
man.
Awesome.
Appreciate
Can't
it.
wait to hear the new music. Really can't. And,
Thank you. We'll see.
All the best.
Thank you.
Cheers.